So I'm going to talk with you today about the Innovate UK iCURE program. Everyone see the slides? Yeah. Okay. So just to start off, obviously I'm Tony and Luca, and together we work on the iCURE program. So just to get away with acronyms, it stands for Innovation to Commercialisation of University Research. And it's a pre-accelerator program for UK researchers. So that's people both in universities and research institutes as well. And we cover the whole of the UK. We cover any sector, any discipline, and any region. So we don't generally delineate between technologies or different approaches. So just to give you a bit of background about iCURE, back in 2013, there was a review of innovation policy, and what people found, it was difficult to get from the lab into the marketplace, generally because there was a lack of grants and formal support to get people through the sort of technology readiness levels. But there was also a number of other issues in the sort of research base where often research funding would end prior to having the idea validated. So our aim is to more align commercial validation while technology development is underway. There were some issues over if I have a startup company, it fails, will that impact my academic career? Increasingly that now is disappearing and people are more embracing other pathways like commerciality. And the biggest one we feel is the lack of commercial skills within researchers. So our aim principally is in that area. So a bit of background about iCURE. It started off in 2014 with one partner, which is Set Squared, based out of Southampton. And then in 2018, the programme was expanded to bring in a number of other delivery partners. So Southampton and Set Squared, there's Helix Way, which is based out of Queen's University, Belfast, and Midlands Innovation, which is based out of Warwick. And we have a number of other partners that I'll explain more about later. And in 2023, the programme was rebranded to make much more of a structured process. So every researcher at whatever stage could access the programme. The principle behind it is that we want to unleash the commercial potential and application of research, whether it's economic, societal, or environmental. So the commercial angle is becoming less, and it's now becoming more about impact creation. Our priorities are to help researchers who want to take ideas forward discover the most appropriate way to do that. It's to build a community of UK science-based entrepreneurs. It's to also create a pipeline because investors are increasingly interested in backing UK research to take it onward. And it's making sure, again, like I say, having support for researchers regardless of discipline or level. The benefits are for the university or research institute. Obviously, this helps raise the profile of research. It upskills staff. And one of the core things about iCURE is it builds networks that endure beyond the programme and go on to create other opportunities. For the researcher, it's about enhancing commercial knowledge, gaining commercial experience firsthand, and joining the iCURE entrepreneur community. For the idea, it's to make it more focused so it can deliver more impact, and as I say, for investors increasing their interest in accessing de-risked science opportunities to co-fund. These are just some of the stats. So probably what's quite important is the number of teams we've put through of 2,500 researchers, 647 teams completed. We have a very high rate of female entrepreneurial founders. And to date, we've created over 282 new companies and leveraged investment in private investment, follow-on funding, and also collaborative and other public research as well. So I'll just go through the stages of iCURE. There will be notes attached to the PDF so you can actually find out more. But we start off with Engage, which is our sort of toe in the water program. This is about people who want to consider entrepreneurship as a way of enhancing their impact creation or potentially as a career option. Because often the entrepreneurial leads go on to be part of any company formation or take ideas forward. It's a very light touch program. There are 2 versions, both over 4 weeks. There's a boot camp with weekly follow-on, or there is a more one spread out over 8 weeks. And basically it's an introduction to iCURE. It's looking at, could my idea become something of value through commercial path or impact? It's about how do I do this? What's the tools I need to take it forward? And how do I package up my technical science into a value proposition for external people? And then at the end, they'll go through what they've learned over that process and be aware if in future they want to go through this, they can build it into their academic journey. Second stage is more in-depth. This is where we start to help people actually get into the marketplace and actually start to have what we call meaningful conversations, which is all around what's the potentiality of the research I've got? If it is potentially, what's the best route to get there? What will be my first focus area to get this into the market? And who do I need to work with in order to do that? So during Discover, they'll usually have between 30 and 40 conversations with potential customers, stakeholders, people in policy, influencing, people who really will know the space and can give them feedback on the potential. It's an 8-week program, again delivered part-time to fit with the academic calendar, and we give a budget for reaching out into the market. So this could be a demonstrator video of the technology, it could be a online survey, or it could be money to go out and attend trade shows and conferences. Then at the end, they bring all this feedback to what we call an options roundabout, where they're given feedback on the potential of this. And for some, that can be going on to the next stage of the program, which is called iCURE Explore. So Explore has been the signature program. We've always had this since 2014, and it's very much a team play. So there are 4 members of the team. There's the entrepreneurial lead who will drive the technology development and undertake the program, principal scientific advisor who will support them. There's usually a business advisor that we can bring in or may already be known to the team. And obviously the technology transfer office is a key part of that. So this is a deep dive into the marketplace. They'll generally have up to 100 conversations plus and travel globally. So in order to fulfill that over the 3-month period, we actually fund the buyout of the entrepreneurial lead, where we fund their salary, and there is a budget for market exploration. And over that period, they'll have a boot camp that will orient them with all the tools they need to reach out. Then as they're going around, we'll have regular check-ins to make sure that what they're finding out is what's needed, or is there slight adjustments required to their outreach. And then at the end, we have another options roundabout, which defines 4 pathways. One is further research. The idea might not be quite ready yet, and may be more appropriate then to look for translational funding or other awards that can move it up the technology readiness level. It could be spin out with iCURE support, where we provide further support for them, or it could be that there's an interest in the market where it might be more appropriate to license this to an existing company. In terms of what outcomes usually are, about 24% go back to do further research, 8% is sponsored research, 18% would be a potential license, and then the others are spin out. So a private spin out would be where the university already has its own funds, or the team have already had indicative interest from funders. And then by far the biggest majority go out to exploit, which is where we provide further support for them. So when you get to exploit, you get a further 3 months of salary support, and this takes you through preparing to actually spin the business out or develop a license. So it's quite an intensive period. Again, that's why we pay the salary. And at the end, they will prepare a business case potentially to apply for up to 300,000 of iCURE exploit funding. Post that as well, we have other specific programs to help the spin out business create strategic sales and marketing plans to connect with investors. And we also have a partnership with Pioneer Group. We provide a specific life science incubator for that. If it's a license deal, we have a tailored program we run twice a year for the entrepreneurial lead and the TTO to attend. Well, that's a bit more detail I can send later. We currently have about 10 joint programs we've delivered, which have either been fully or co-funded. This includes BBSRC, which Luke will talk about, but we've also done work with Cancer Research Horizons and other national institutes. These are some of our spin-outs. You'll be able to access the slide and the link through to the website to see some of those in more depth. We have a team of regional hub managers across the UK. So depending on which geography you're based in, they will be able to be contacted and can help further develop applications and help into the program. And if you want to sign up, there's the website and our socials are on there as well. So I'll just hand over to Luca now to talk more in the context of BBSRC.
Well, thank you, Tony, and of course, thank you to the Translating Accelerating Research Network for having me today. So my idea now is to narrow down on Tony's presentation and talk specifically about two things. One is the BBSRC iCURE, why we run it and why it is important to us to run it. And the other one is the partnership with Kidney Research UK and Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation UK that has been recently announced. So just as a bit of background, it is a strategic priority for us at BBSRC to drive innovation, research translation, and enterprise. So we do that with different programs that are tailored to different stages of technology development, and we offer these strategic funding streams along with the standard BBSRC grant. So this is what we do at KCU, the Knowledge Exchange and Commercialization Unit. The general objective is to motivate and support academic innovators to seek and pursue commercial opportunities while de-risking the process of doing that. And another key objective is that we really want to help embed innovation and enterprise skills and culture within research organizations. Specifically for the iCURE program, the iCURE program is part of the strategic and competitive funding that BBSRC offers. iCURE Explore support specifically market exploration, as Tony was saying, and it is about de-risking the process of market discovery, giving the space and the time to the academic to actually going through the process. So we pretty much took a carbon copy of what a standard iCURE is, but we did a few changes. So here, this slide basically shows the unique what I think are the unique selling point for the BBSRC iCURE. So, and firstly is coaching and mentoring from experts within the bioscience. So this is to essentially maximize the effectiveness of the program. It makes sense to us to have coaches that have expertise from the relevant sectors and along all the stages of the, for example, Explore program, but also Discover, where you got, you know, a midterm review or the option runabouts. So all the panelists have the expertise in the relevant science and life science areas. The second unique selling point, I think, is the possibility to build a bioscience-specific network. So this is done in two ways. One is because, for example, in iCURE, Explore and Discover in particular, they do exploration, and therefore they get in touch with industry leader. They conduct a number of interviews to get that market validation, and those are networks that they stay regardless of the outcome of the program. In addition, because the court is around biosciences, you know, we create so the court, there is an element of core building where there is peer support. People know teams that work in similar areas, complementary areas, and I think that is you know, a value addition. The other element is the greater chances of success in terms of not in terms of you know, being easier. The program is for example, they are, as I said, very similar, but I would say that the program, because it has a narrow scope, that means that there is less competition from other disciplines for the same number of places. And the other one is the fact that so we are open to anyone in the academic in academia that from every type of from every research career stage. So from PhD students to technician. So here are a few numbers. So again, narrowing down on BBSRC iCURE editions. So we have run several iCURE Explore. We have been running Discover for a few years. And since 2022, we have supported 50 projects within Explore and 25 within Discover. And this year we also launched Engage. And I mean, the demographic shows, you know, the regional distribution. For us, we really want to see a broad and diverse range of teams from across the entire UK and all 4 nations. And I mean, and this is, Tony was mentioning, you know, the advantage of the program. And I think what we really want as well from BBSRC to encourage application from university and institute who may not have that as much as tech transfer capacity, and the support that the BBSRC iCURE, regardless of being Discover or Explore, is really unique because it can really help research organizations support their academics that want to, you know, try commercialization as a pathway to impact. Now, in terms of other demographics, so far we have seen a great spread of career types and career stages. We also open to technician, as I say, and we welcome application from technician. You can see a spike in PhDs, PDRAs. I would say PhD PDRAs are kind of always in the driving seat, and I always think, for example, for the iCURE Explore, because they work in a team, most of the time we receive application where you got the PI that act as a science advisor and PDRAs or PhD, particularly at the stage, at the later stage of the PhD, when they have submitted their thesis or they're waiting for the viva, they really start, you know, as to work on the entrepreneurial side of their research, supported by their PIs. And then the other demographic is the primary market that we have been recording. So of course, we have a lot of teams that sit in the health and well-being space, but BBSRC research areas is much broader, and it encompasses a variety of markets that include agriculture, include materials, include manufacturing, sustainability, food and nutrition, very important for us, and animal welfare. So we want to see and keep working to diversify the portfolio, which covers a huge variety of scientific disciplines that are in BBSRC remit. So now I'm going to talk more about the eligibility for this. So we are about to launch. So we have launched recently, like a call in partnership with BBSRC, with the Kidney Research UK and Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And it's a pilot. So the pilot means that basically the grants awarded by Kidney Research UK and Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation are qualifying grants alone. Usually what we have, like as an eligibility criteria, key eligibility criteria, we have that the research, so the technology being put forward by the research team must be building up upon previous UKRI grant funding. And this time we are opening this eligibility criteria. And the strategic underpinning of this pilot partnership is that we want to diversify the pipeline of academically validated research that can be supported. And we want to increase the likelihood that innovative idea in the biomedical space will turn into practical application that can then deliver impact through market. I want to mention also the scope of the BBSRC iCURE, because we work in bioscience. Bioscience, the technology must be, so we have some requirements there as well. So technology must be either biological in nature, interact with a biological entity, involve a biological process, or address a biological challenge. We are keeping the scope as broad as possible, but we need to have a biological element in the application. So something important to mention, that applications that are based on medical devices and therapeutics, which are solely developed for a specific endpoint clinical utility, are outside the BBSRC iCURE scope and usually are not accepted. And that includes diagnostic, unless the application can, or the applicant can also demonstrate that their technology can actually, they can investigate other market opportunities for the technology outside of the health sector. And one case that often comes is the veterinary sector and veterinary sciences. But also most of the cases when the technology can be pivoted into a platform technology for discovery research. Yeah, so I got here a time frame for the iCURE Explore with Kidney Research UK and Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. The application has opened in early June, closes on the 10th of September. There is a welcome call that usually is for the selected individual on the 11th of October. And then the bootcamp is in October. And it's usually composed of two parts. One is in person and one is online. And this one will be run in Cardiff, the in-person delivery. I just want to conclude with that by saying that although the program support market exploration, and as Tony was saying, it gives opportunity to build on, the possibility to participate, to exploit and see, the licensing opportunity and the industry with the industry or creating spin-outs. There is also the important component of having, the teams that acquire a set of skills that are highly transferable, and of course, all the connection that the team can make during the exploration phase in the program. So yeah, this is the end of my presentation. So any questions, happy to answer.